Good evening, sunny Indiana. I'm Ron Burgundy. I run the show here. I'm kind of a big deal. I love a nice glass of scotch and doing what I was born to do. Read the news. This is the Channel 4 news station. Today we're going to take you on a news journey that may or may not change your life forever. First, I'd like to introduce you to the rest of my news team.
Hi there, I'm Rick Tamlin, and I'm the weatherman of the group. I deal with a lot of the weather-related topics, mostly water and how, it's wet. Another thing I deal with is, being struck by lightning can help you lose weight? Stick around and find out.
The name's Brad Guy, aka Brian Fantana. I'll be in the field today, giving you the scoop on what's really going on in America. Did you know 8 puppies die every 10 seconds? Did you know I totally made up that statistic? These are the kind of things I'm all about.
Champ Kind here. Sports is my cup of tea. I bring most of the action to the group. Today you're going to see touchdowns, fly balls, and all that jazz that makes sports the real deal. Except soccer, because soccer is not a sport.
Well, now that you've met the team, let's get right to it. We'll be covering several topics, such as the Black Lives Matter group and the racial tension in America today, all there is to know in the sports world, and everything to do with the weather. First to Brian, in the field of what seems to be a war zone.
Yesterday I went face to face with the dark side, aka a Black Lives Matter protest. Here's a short clip. Here we have that's illegal. Illegal. You can do that. That's allowed. Oh, you can't throw. That's not allowed. Some stealing. We got some stealing right here. There's some throwing. These guys are stealing a fence. This is bad. This is real bad. They're jumping on cars. They're jumping all over cars. All over the cars. Wow, that was graphic. It is to be said that hashtag Black Lives Matter movement was created with the intent of reaching the end of the war on black people, which they claim is a systematic racism that exists in America. The movement claims there is a discrimination on the African American community, from an economic disadvantage to police discrimination. The movement has several demands: an end to the criminalization of black youth, reparations for alleged crimes against the black community, and independent black political power. They plan to continue these so-called peaceful protests until all of their demands are reached. Brian Fantana, Channel 4 News. Back to you, Ron.
Thank you, Brian, for that coverage of that interesting Black Lives Matter group. I can't see them making any progress in politics by rioting like that. They seem to be maybe making the problem worse. I hope, for the sake of this nation, we can come to a peaceful conclusion to this terrible time and racial controversy. Now to Champ, with the sports. What you got for us, Champ?
Continuing off of the Black Lives Matter protest is another racial hot topic. Colin Kaepernick was found kneeling during the national anthem on a nationally televised NFL game. Many people found this extremely disrespectful. He claims, and quote, "I want to help make America better. I think having these conversations helps everyone have a better understanding of where everyone is coming from." And it seems others agree. High school students worldwide have been kneeling during the national anthem along with Kaepernick. Reports say that the students have actually asked their coaches for permission. One coach says, "Anytime young kids can speak their mind, it's always good." The kneeling from the players has also erupted the crowd, making it more tense in the crowd than in the game. Also in sports, the baseball world lost a young soul just this past week. Jose Fernandez was a 25-year-old pitcher from the Marlins who died September 25th in a tragic boating accident. It is said the visibility was low and their boat was reaching top speeds when it collided with rocks along the shore. He will be missed by his teammates and fans alike. Throwing strikes and hitting whammies in heaven, rest in peace. Back to you, Ron.
What a sad thing to hear. And now, a word from our sponsor.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to the Channel 4 News. Now we're going to pan over to Brick, our weatherman.
As of October 1st, 2016, this big hurricane, the name Matthew, no last name, just Matthew, that's kind of funny, was heading towards Jamaica, winds reaching up to 140 miles per hour, strong enough to blow over 6 sheep all at once. That's the equivalent of one house. It's one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded. By Wednesday of this week, Matthew had wreaked havoc on Jamaica and Haiti. Now down to a Category 4 storm, it is headed for the Bahamas and the southeast coast of the United States. Matthew is responsible for untold amount of damage and 25 deaths so far. Matthew has many people worried in the state of Florida. Evacuations have already started in many counties along Florida's east coast. South Carolina has also started its evacuation process, making it mandatory for citizens in the wake of the hurricane to leave their belongings and homes. This hurricane is supposed to hit the U.S. with winds of upwards of 130 miles per hour. And the winds don't slow down at all. A large portion of Florida is now in hurricane watch, and the entire state is under a tropical storm warning. Well, as for the weather in America, it has been hot. So far, it's been the hottest year ever. It's been really hot. Hot enough to make you say, ow, or I wish it was colder. Here's the problem. Greenhouse gases are trapping in the heat, making it even hotter and hotter and hotter. The more the sun gives us heat, the more it traps the heat with our greenhouse gases. Science!
Now back to Brian, who got some interesting coverage of the most recent presidential debate. Before we get into it, we'd like to get the audience up to date on the political scene. The 2016 election is well on its way, come November, and voters are more anxious than ever to see the outcome. The two candidates, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, have been making questionable moves throughout the election season and the course of their lives. We have seen the candidates take advantage of each other's mistakes, and I'm sure we will see more of that in the most recent debate. Now to Brian with the coverage.
With all the drama and secrets involving the two candidates, a certain secret for each makes people question how both of these Americans will do in office. The first secret we have hiding behind Donald Trump is that he hasn't paid any federal income taxes. The only available federal tax records during several years from 1978 to 1993 suggest he did not. His excuse for not releasing the records from 1993 is that they are being routinely audited. His tax records could be released even if they are being audited. On the other hand, Hillary has many secrets, but the biggest one is her 33,000 deleted emails. They both questioned each other at the most recent debate. The question we've all been wondering, what were those emails all about?
Who knows? Those candidates, what are you gonna do? Well, that wraps up today's newscast. I hope you're happy. I hope you're informed. Ron Burgundy, Channel 4 News, signing out. Today's breaking news is a spooky trend that has been taking over social media and the news. Individuals have been creating fear simply by dressing up as clowns. People really don't like them. In fact, one clown was shot here in Indiana after confrontation with a pedestrian. There's been several attacks from the clowns and several videos showing clowns chasing children and cars. The fear of going face to face with one of these colorful creatures is at an all-time high with Halloween coming up. There have been several instances of these clowns luring small children and often targeting them. Trick-or-treaters beware. We have some tips for all you viewers out there. When you spot a clown, you have two options: hunt or be hunted. So bring your bat, don't brake when they jump in front of your car, and if an overweight friend of yours is with you when the encounter happens, leave him behind.
Also in recent news, the two vice presidential candidates, Tim Kaine and Mike Pence, faced off on Tuesday night in a surprisingly interesting debate. The two did their best to defend themselves and their candidate, but fell short in several cases. It was no Hillary v. Trump, but still interesting to see their viewpoints. Many say Kaine gave a very unhinged and spasmodic performance, whereas Mike Pence stayed very calm and collective while attempting to defend Trump. It's questionable whether or not the vice presidential debate will affect the race in the polls, but we will see more in the coming days. Again, this is Channel 4 News, signing out.